So today we're going to continue our unit on basketball by focusing on controlling the ball while dribbling. So what I want you to do is turn to your partner right now and talk briefly about what it looks like to control the ball while dribbling. So do that now. Once in their partners, students share their prior knowledge of effective strategies for controlling the ball while dribbling. Consider having students watch the skill demonstration videos from the MLSE ShapeUp website prior to the lesson. To get warmed up and to increase our heart rates, we're going to play ball control. Students will gradually increase their heart rate by participating in the following activity. Place pylons randomly around the gymnasium for students to walk and dribble a basketball around. Give each student a basketball and remind them to switch back and forth between hands and to keep their heads up as they move through the activity area. Students use the pylons to move around, move through, between, and as a marker to change direction when approached. Students increase speed from a walk to a slow jog and to a jog and must be aware of those around them. While they are dribbling, the teacher will call out stop and students perform a 2-foot jump stop and then hold the ball with 2 hands and pivot 3 times. Students resume moving until the teacher again calls out stop. Prior to the activity, inspect the activity area for safe traction and potential hazards. Remind students to be cautious of others when moving. Remind students that as they move faster, they will have to be more aware of the personal space of those around. Check that each activity is spread out to minimize interference from other activities. Now that we're warmed up, we're going to continue to work on controlling the ball while dribbling by playing a game called Experience the Dribble. With the basketball, students find an open space. Students experiment with a variety of dribbling techniques while first stationary, then after 60 seconds while moving slowly around the activity area. We'll now move on to partner dribble tag. Divide students into groups of 4. Each group will need 3 basketballs. Have 2 students stand 5 meters apart and pass a basketball back and forth using a chest or bounce pass. The other 2 students, each with a ball, dribble in a circle around the passing partners. They start at opposite sides of the circle and attempt to catch one another. Remind students that catch means to touch, not grab, push, or punch. Switch roles every 30 seconds. Teacher moves throughout the class, reminding students of the success criteria for sending and receiving a pass. Let's move on to putting it all together. Students work in groups of 4. Each group forms a line that faces across the width of the gymnasium. The first student in the line has a ball and dribbles out 10 meters and performs a jump stop. Then they pivot and face back towards their line and send a chest or bounce pass to the next student and run to the end of the line. The next student dribbles out, jump stops, pivots, and passes to the third student in line and then runs to the back of their original line. Continue this sequence for 2 minutes. Students in the line can remain active by jogging on the spot while they are waiting their turn. We'll now play a mini game. Divide the class into groups of 4 to 6. Students play half-court games of 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. Students are allowed to dribble the basketball, but they must make a pass or take a shot within 5 seconds. On a turnover, the defending team takes possession and must complete at least 2 passes before they can take a shot at the basket. If time allows, a second game can be played with a different opponent. Be sure to remind students of game strategies such as advancing the ball with the intent to score, using the triple threat options, defending the basket, quick transition from defense to offense using the fast break, and spreading out the court. We'll now cool down with cool dribbling. Throughout this activity, students will gradually decrease their heart rate to a resting rate and then will stretch the body parts that have been active throughout the lesson. Each student dribbles a basketball around the gymnasium. Students move in a pattern called out by the teacher. Remind students that they must be aware of the space of those around them. While dribbling, the teacher will call out action, and the students stop dribbling with a jump stop and then pretend to take a shot, make a pass, or perform a dunk. After 10 seconds, they resume dribbling, but in a new pattern until action is called again. Repeat for 2 minutes. Students then find an open space and volunteers are asked to lead stretches that can be done while holding onto the basketball. When the teacher calls out "Game over," the students sit down and then follow directions from the teacher to put the ball away.